I want to talk a moment about transformation and how God transforms us, what it looks like along the way. I won't be too long. But a lady the other day asked me while I was signing them up, after selling them a car, she asked me, what was the one moment in your life that caused you to turn from drugs and alcohol and from that lifestyle? And the Lord just kind of bubbled up out of me. I never said it before, but I said, in the Old Testament, you have memorial stones. These memorial stones were altars where God had altered their life. And what I began to tell this older couple whose daughter is still in the grip of addiction, that many times it's not a one and done process with the Lord, although those radical transformations do happen to some, or shall I say few, because on my journey I've only met a few people that got radically transformed and never went back. However, along the way they did deal with other things other than drugs and alcohol. So God, in His grace and mercy, will take things from us that we know that without His help, we won't be able to overcome. And that's with everything, but there's some big things, some big boulders that He needs to pull off of us. And in the rubble of us crashing our life, then we co-labor with God, and He helps us take the other stones off of our life. And what these stones represent are the memorial stones and the altars where God transformed our life and turned us from a life of hell, of depression, anxiety, fear. The list goes on and on and on. And so I want to propose to you that transformation does not happen all at once. However, we are growing into the image of Christ and shining forth our light, which is His light, more and more and more the longer we spend time with Him. And as I begin to look back on how the Lord transformed my life and how He has caused me to look more and more like Christ over the years, it has been a gradual process. That is why I teach a lot on being justified in Christ, being sanctified in Christ, being transformed in Christ, and ultimately being glorified in Christ. For we were saved, we are saved, and we will yet still be saved. However, it's the one that endures to the end, that man will be saved. We look in the life of Solomon, who had so much wisdom, who wrote such beautiful things in the book of Proverbs. However, in the end of his life, he did not end well because he compromised. And in his compromise, he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes, where you see a double-minded man that was unstable in all of his ways. Beloved, it is our passion in this Fiery Ones group to continue to lay our life down and sit in close proximity at the feet of Jesus, so He launches us from day to day into this beautiful thing called transformation. He launches us into the deep, where His love continues to carry us in places where we thought that we were in over our head, and we were, but His love continues to sustain us. So let the Lord continue to transform you. Let Him continue to grow you up into His very image. And the more and more you realize His light that's in you, the more and more that darkness that you once held on to, or former generations held on to, that they did not give up, you will easily give up, because it's only when we get in His presence that transformation can truly happen. It's only when we carve out that time and we sit with the Lord and we begin to meditate and think about our life and the things he brought us in and through. And then he'll begin to show us faces and remind us of accounts where he was there when the enemy tried to snuff you out. I'm telling you more now than ever for us to turn off television and turn off our devices and sit with the King at his feet. This will bring life to you. It will bring strength to you. And you will remember the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Blessings to you guys. I can't wait till we meet on the 9th. Be encouraged. Love you all. I'm signing off.